Bill, what's your question this week?
My question this week is more because of curiosity more than anything else. What are your first and/or most memorable online gaming experiences?
See, I thought you said just first gaming experiences, and I'm like, it's easy. But when you say online gaming experiences,
yeah, online gaming.
I know my answer.
Go on in.
My first online gaming experience, as in that I can recall, was Choo Choo Rocket on the Dreamcast. In terms of where I could genuinely play an actual game with somebody, not just some random techie thing or something through school or whatever. The first actual proper game would have been Choo Choo Rocket on the Dreamcast, and it was really good, and I loved it. And then after that, I can't really remember, but I remember the introduction of Xbox Live in 2002 when that started, and that was good. That was good. Ash?
I played a lot of Habbo Hotel when I was in high school, so that was fun.
What's that?
It's like so it was a browser MMO where you play a person who lives in a hotel. There was a lot of controversy around it. Internet Historian has done a really good video on the Habbo Hotel controversy. I probably can't really say too much about what it was on a family-friendly stream. Let's just say it involved a lot of trolls. I also played Bin Weevils. That was a good one, which was basically the same thing, but you were a weevil that lived in a bin. And then I also played the really, really old Disney MMO that didn't work. I played the free trial of that. But yeah, I got my start there. Loads of my friends were like, "Oh, I played Club Penguin," and I'm like, "I'm on Habbo Hotel." Yeah.
I don't know if I should tell you mine now. Mine's a lot more embarrassing than the rest of yours.
It can't be any worse than Cheney in the chat, who claims that their first online game was FIFA, but then casually corrects themselves to say, "Oh no, it was RuneScape."
Well, there was nothing wrong with the game. It was just my first experience was a bit kind of cringeworthy. So my first game was Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast, and
yes, of course.
Yeah, and that was like the first game on consoles where you could actually talk to people. But this was before there was any kind of moderation whatsoever.
You couldn't talk. You couldn't talk on Phantasy Star Online. It was all keyboard, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had a keyboard.
Oh, that's what you meant by talk. Yeah. I bloody loved Phantasy Star Online. I don't think I actually got further than the second area. Of the four, there's 4 areas in the game from what I can recall. Never got further than the second one.
It was massive, and my first experience is apparently I got a super rare weapon that I was completely oblivious to. And everybody in the lobby area was kind of like, "You've got that? That's amazing! That's amazing!" Because it was making me kill enemies that were like 40 levels higher than what I was, and I was completely oblivious. They walked me into the hardest level in the game, bigging me up, and then they abandoned me. So I got completely killed. And in that game, you drop your weapon. They stole my weapon and then logged off.
That's how it works.
That was my first ever online experience.
PSO was rife for thieves.
It was pretty bad. And then there was the awkward time there where I was on a date but didn't realise. That game was so weird.
What?
So, yeah, basically I was looking for someone to help me on a level, went into another game, and it was just me and this female avatar, which could have been a bloke or anybody, I don't know. And then she started giving me gifts and stuff, and I went, what's going on? Are we not playing the game? And she was like, "Well, I thought you just want to talk." And I went, "Is this a date?" And it got really strange, and you had to log off. But she gave me some of the best weapons in the game, and I kept them forever. It was brilliant, but it was really strange.
I can understand why that's quite memorable.
Yeah. Then I had some bodyguards. That game was so funny. I had a bodyguard called Zach and Jack, and they used to run up to me and attack anybody who had a go at me with a double backstab attack, and that they would just spam that in the chat forever. So Phantasy Star was a really, really strange game. But that was my
I don't think it will beat Habbo Hotel. People in Habbo Hotel, like, bear in mind, these are like probably adults. They're like going around the bar area in Habbo Hotel, and you could like type little messages that would appear above your character's head, and they were like, "Oh, Uwu, Daddy, please adopt me," and like. This was before Uwu was even a thing, and I was like, literally, oh my god, 15 years old, like, I just want to make a nice, like, room, please leave me alone.
Right. I just want to play the game and kill some monsters. What? Why are you asking for my number?
I had people like, because I dressed my character all in pink, because I really liked pink at the time. And I had people like being like, "Oh, I want to be your sugar daddy. Let me adopt you on Habbo Hotel," and giving me loads of gifts and stuff. And I was freaked out because I was quite sheltered. So I was like, "Oh, no, thank you," and then I just never logged back in.
Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah. Let's move on to your question, Ash. What is your question for us this week?
So my question is, what is the most hypocritical gamer thing that you do? And this isn't like a bad thing because all gamers are hypocrites. For example, I really rail against remakes and remasters. I absolutely hate them. I think they are the scourge of the gaming industry. But oh my god, I would be so excited for a Pokemon Gen 4 remake. Like, and a KOTOR remake as well. They're like two of the things that I really want the most. So that's what I mean. And like other examples include things like, oh, I really don't like cinematic games, but I really want a Metal Gear Solid movie. That would be great. So yeah, what are yours?
Well, I think when it comes to remakes and remasters, I think everyone is like that. We all hate the idea that instead of them making new games, we get the same old stuff. Everyone moans about Nintendo rehashing the same franchises over and over again for the last 35 years. But then at the same time, I'm still really excited there's a new Mario coming next week, even though it's actually one that I've played before. So I think the vast majority of us are all in that same boat where, you know, we hate the idea of rehashed ideas, but then, like you say, Ash, you know, you get yourself a new Gen 4 Pokemon, you'll be well away. Something that I'm actually a little worried about is microtransactions. Because generally speaking...
F1 again.
Yeah, it will be. Generally speaking, you know, I'm not a fan of microtransactions, or at least I'm not a fan of, you know, the predatory gambling mechanics style microtransactions that you find in generic sports game A, B, whatever. But
it's all right, John. You can say FIFA.
But, and this is exactly it. EA have bought Codemasters, so EA now, EA from now on will be publishing the Formula 1 games, and they are no doubt going to throw in microtransactions into this game, and it's going to have its own ultimate team and all that kind of stuff. But I find myself thinking, oh my god, I would love to be able to make my own F1 team and have all of the drivers from, you know, all of the past 70 years and the history of the sport and make your own team with them, and I would pay money for that, and I feel filthy because of it, and I don't like it. So I absolutely hate the idea of having to pay for random content. It is ridiculous. It's horrible. It's disgusting. But at the same time, if that's the only way that I can do that particular thing in a game that I love, I will begrudgingly give them more money for it, and I hate myself for that. So that's my answer.
All right, fair. Bill?
Yeah. Well, I've got rid of a fair few of my hypocritical bits, I'd like to think, so mine was a bit difficult, but I suppose... because I did have a problem with downloadable characters for fighting games, but now I kind of see the benefit of it. Now they've done it, and all sorts going on for ages. But I suppose it's trophies, because I hate them. I hate getting platinum trophies, and I've already go on about that every week. But when a trophy pops up, I do like it. Every time And when I'm going through a game, and there's like, oh, I got a trophy for that, and have a look and go, oh, if I collect all those things, I'll get more trophies. So that's probably the most hypocritical thing, as I don't like them. I understand why they exist and why people do like them, but there's just obviously some dopamine or something in my head that just makes me want to collect them anyway. So yeah, trophies.
It's exactly what it is. It's all dopamine.
Yeah.
That's what gaming is in general.
Yeah.
So, where are we? Crikey. To finish off, we have one last question from me. And my question is, do you ever buy a game just to own it and not because you want to actually play it? Because I do. And I've got a picture here of some games that I bought this week.
You just wanted to brag. This isn't a question. This is just, oh, look at my F1 collection.
No, because...
No.
John, you've done a 20-minute video. You post on the Facebook group every week. What more do you want?
This is the last I'm going to go on about it, I promise. At least for another few weeks. But, so yes, these are all Japanese games. I like the box art, and I like the fact that I own them. But I'm never going to play them. And actually, half of those games are actually exactly the same as the English versions of the game. They've just got different titles. But I got them because I just want to have them. So, do you ever buy games just to collect them and not to actually play them?
I sort of. What I tend to do is, even if I don't have any interest in a game, I'll buy it when it's cheap and eventually play it in my own time just to have an opinion on it. I'll know I won't like it. For example, Dino Crisis, Devil May Cry, Skyrim. The games I know for a fact are not my kind of game, but I don't want to go and tell people that game's rubbish without experiencing it for a few hours myself to actually make an informed, contextual kind of, know what I'm talking about, actually say I've played it. So sort of, I might trade it in after I've played it. I might get rid of it or borrow it or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, I'll buy it when it's cheap, play it just to say I've played it, so I can't get that whole kind of comeback when I say that game's not very good. You haven't played it. Yes, I have. So yeah, sort of, not really.
Sort of, not really. Concise answer. Thanks, Bill. Ash?
Yeah, there we go.
No, I don't. I'm so picky with what I play because I've come to accept that I'm not going to be able to play every game and have an opinion on every game, and they cost a lot of money, and I think, no offense guys, I genuinely think buying games that you have no intent to play is kind of a waste of money, but that might just be because I'm poor. But yeah, I only buy games that I either think I'm really going to like, or know that I will like because I have enjoyed previous games in the series. Yes, I have been burned, Fallout 76, for example. But yeah, I don't buy games that I don't plan on playing. I don't buy books that I don't plan on reading. I don't start anime that I don't think I'm going to enjoy because not only am I money poor, I am time poor as well. So yeah, that's why I only played like 20 hours of PS4 last year, is because I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to enjoy any of these games. So
I think that's why I kind of say kind of maybe, kind of not. I still played them all. I still played through all the Devil May Cries and Dino Crisis and stuff, but I know for a fact I'm not going to like them, which is, I know it's weird. It's my own trauma, my own trouble. But I do play them, but I don't like them.
Okay. It's just me then.
Just you. Yeah.
Fair enough. Right.
But you've got a unique one because you've set yourself the goal for F1 games, haven't you?
Yeah, that's a collection. But I suppose outside of buying things to collect things, I don't really buy that many games. If you don't count the F1 thing, which is kind of a different thing, really. I generally pick the cream from all genres, really, because I'm outside of COVID, I'm quite time poor in the same way as Ash says, despite what my PS4 stats say, but I just don't believe that they're true, basically.
I just happened to glance over the chat and see my wife have a go at me for collecting weirdest rubbish, just so I can be informed. You're just as bad. You bought Pokemon Stadium like last year for the N64. You've never even put it inside the N64. Plus, you've got all the Game Boy and DS Pokemon games, and you don't play them either. So yeah, you're just as bad. There you go. That's it. You laugh, and I can see you.
Okay, right. I think that's a good time to end so that Bill can go and continue his domestic. You don't want to live stream that, Bill.
No.